morning, St. Paul. Having a little bit of a technical issue right there. IG10T. Good morning once again. This is Wesley Wright, your Un-Bougie foodie. Thank you all so much for being here with me. It is a wonderful Saturday morning, as always. Well, okay, not all, as always, but it's summertime, and we are, experiencing wonderful weather today. I don't know about some other days that might happen, but first and foremost, I want to again thank you for being here. So if you're enjoying your coffee, your breakfast, it's a wonderful time to, of course, sit down and just listen to some food talk. I have two special guests in the booth with me today. Taous Khazem and Mohammed Yabdri. I got that right. So, folks, if you would say hello, please.
Good morning. This is Taous.
Hello, this is Mohammed.
Thank you so much for being here. These are close friends of another close friend. That's Aaron Gabriel. And so thank you, Aaron, for giving me an opportunity to meet them and then have them on the show. I just kind of want to jump right into it and just ask you all your interest in food. I mean, I know it probably is very wide and broad and everything, but what started you both on that or down that path?
Well, I like to eat food. My dad is by trade a baker and a pastry chef. And so he ran for years Napoleon's French Bakery in St. Paul. It was on Fairview.
Oh, wow.
And St. Clair for years in the 80s and early 90s. And then he had another bakery in Minneapolis on 48th and Nicollet called Bonaparte's. So the first one was Napoleon's and the second one was Bonaparte's.
How long ago was that?
He opened in 80 in St. Paul, and then I think he moved to California and opened up a pizza place in, I think it was 88, 89, 90. And then he came back and opened Bonaparte's. I was in high school. It was like 95, 96, 97.
Okay.
So food was always sort of around my childhood, and when I'd be with my dad, we were always going to different warehouses and looking at ovens or looking at, sheet pans. And then, so my dad is from Algeria, North Africa. So there's the sort of French food side that was the bakery side.
Nice.
And then there was the couscous and the Algerian food that he was making at home. And then when I was a little kid, I became a vegetarian.
Okay.
And I was a vegetarian for many years until I was in my early 20s. Actually, until for the first time I tried fasting for Ramadan.
Okay.
And it was a big fasting fail.
Oh, my.
And I got very ill at the end of the week.
Aw.
And I started eating meat again.
Okay.
So ever since then, I've been eating meat.
More of a balance.
Yeah.
Finding a balance between the two. Understood.
So that's my food story.
Mohammed.
Oh, mine is first. We have a common thing. I like eating good food and
Nice.
try many different cuisine and gastronomy from
Nice.
all over the world. But I am also the kid number 7 in my family.
Oh, my.
And I'm the youngest one. So I grew up like being served by the whole family. No, don't touch, you will be burned. So and then when I moved here in 2012, but I had always connection with the cuisine or the kitchen with my mom and other members of my family. So I feel like cooking is in the feeling. Like I picked some recipes without really learn them how to make them in that time.
Right.
But when I moved here, my little Algeria, my little nostalgia is our small kitchen
Okay.
here in Minneapolis. So any traditional food except tagines that Taous make. Any like couscous, harira, which is soup, burek. So I started to learn via Skype to adjust the right
nice.
recipe live from Oran, my home city, and start to cook for us. And I think it sounds delicious for me.
I mean, already, from what you're just talking about, I mean, this is a cuisine, again, like I mentioned, I am not familiar with. So I'm always interested in finding out about a new cuisine, a taste. And even though I know I say this, I'll try anything once. No, that's really a lie. I'll try it over and over again because I know that there are certain foods, no matter what cuisine that it is, I will find something in it that will just be delicious and just speak to my taste. And I hope that there are others out there that also feel the same way. Now, you mentioned that is one of the things that I'm hopefully going to talk about today with you all, because I don't know anything about, but it's Ramadan. Can you all explain a little bit about Ramadan and I mean, specifically help me myself as well as listeners too, about what it is, the cultural aspect behind it.
So first of all, the fasting is like quit eating and drinking water or anything from the sunrise to the sunset every day. Especially in the summer is long days.
Okay.
And just to be specific, it's not sunrise. It's actually
right
a couple hours before.
Oh wow, like at dusk.
The sunrise, dawn.
Oh, dawn. Yes, I'm sorry, not dusk. Sorry.
But dusk is a great time. That's when you start eating again. But it's like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my.
Is when the fast starts.
Oh my.
To 9:07 like today.
Okay.
PM. So this is the fasting part, like physically, and there is the other thing, like spiritual, to ask yourself about as a human what you have to do, feel like the sensation or the behavior or the feeling of poor people, to share with them food or other thing, money or anything. So this is basically one or few parts of Ramadan, plus reading Quran and be more linked with the society and the nature. So there's the two parts.
Nice.
The physical thing, I mean, where we are fasting,
right.
And the other thing where we
more
spiritual.
Understood.
Yes.
And it's 1 month of every year. So Ramadan is a month in the Islamic calendar.
Okay.
So, and it moves, it's a lunar calendar, so it moves back 11 days every year.
Okay.
So it started around the 25th of May this year. So next year it'll start, around the 12th of May.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Along with, I know that there are different, who was I talking to? I may have been Aaron, the cuisine guru, it seems like. When Ramadan ends, is there a specific type of cuisine or food that you all prepare and like to eat?
Yes, the day right after Ramadan, we call it Eid, or a party.
Okay.
So where actually the previous week, like this is the last week of Ramadan,
okay.
The last few days, where we prepare a lot of cakes like baklava, or what we call it in Algeria and North Africa, I mean Maghreb countries, Tunisia, Morocco, and Algeria, we call it baklawa.
I saw that spelling. Believe me, I don't speak French at all, but Aaron shared with me a book that has that in there, and I was like, wait, why is that a W rather than a B? But I'm like, I'm not going to ask questions because I don't know.
So baklawa, or baklava, which more known in the world, or other cakes and cookies that we prepare. So the first hour, people go to pray, and this is the special prayer of Eid, and then we come back to the house where we meet the whole family, neighbors come. Eid is like a lot of movements where people go to other. I feel it like it's continuous movement.
Okay.
Where I go to the neighbor's house, meet the family, say Happy Eid. The other families come to our house. Kids love
Eid, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, kids get presents, kids get
Exactly.
money and
Oh,
new
wow, okay.
clothes, and so the reason why you're making all of these little cakes and cookies is because you're going to receive guests.
Oh, okay.
And so you need something to serve to them. So usually, if you have a big family, part of the family will stay home and be the receiving committee.
Understood.
And then there's another group of the family who go out and they're like the visiting committee.
I see.
So you have two teams.
Nice.
And so there's the team that stays back and is serving all the cakes and stuff that you've prepared, and then the other team is going off and eating the cakes and things that other people have prepared.
Do you take any of these to anyone else? Or okay.
Yes.
You can.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You can offer and change
Oh.
the cookies and cakes with the guest and
The host?
the hosts.
And just to be clear, we're talking about Algeria in North Africa. So I think a lot of the times in the United States we tend to conflate and think that like all cultures of the Middle East and North Africa are samesies.
No.
And they're all very different. So just for the listeners out there, we're talking Algeria, which is the biggest country in Africa right now since Sudan split in half. And it's 3 times the size of Texas.
My.
And it's in between Morocco and Tunisia. Sahara on the bottom, Mediterranean Sea on the top, just to situate us all where we are.
Very bomb geographical education right there. Thank you. I know we're discussing and everything, but I wanted to also give listeners an opportunity. If they have any type of questions, are you all willing? Please feel free, to call us, reach us here at the Un-Bougie Foodie at 651, specifically WEQI, but 651-200-3479. Again, that's 651-200-3479. As always, if you have a comment or would like to see other information regarding the show, please visit the Un-Bougie Foodie on my Facebook page, or you could always see the different types of cuisines and foods that I post through Instagram, which is _Un-Bougie Foodie, or Twitter, which is @Un-Bougie Foodie. But feel free to give us a call. They're here taking your questions, specifically about, Algerian cuisine. Is there something specific that you like to make?
Oh, yes. Anything that I miss. Because as an immigrant, you have flavors that you bring. You have music, many things that are more specific to you
and personal.
Exactly.
Yes.
And very personal. So the things that I like to make, especially in Ramadan, it's harira, which is a soup in few regions in Algeria, because it's a large and big country.
Okay.
So they call it shorba.
Shorba,
yes.
Okay.
And it's a soup with vegetables and meat. And
Could be lamb or beef.
Exactly.
Yum.
Yeah. And we use a lot of lamb in North. Maghreban side.
Okay.
So and we put burgle in it. Also. Bulgur. Sorry.
What's that?
Cracked wheat.
Okay.
The other thing that I like to prepare is burek, and burek is one time we invited our friend Zoran, who is from Serbia. He said, "Yeah, we have burek in Serbia," so it's all over the world. And I think it's linked. It's a recipe from Ottoman Empire,
Okay.
and Algeria was a part of Ottoman Empire
For 300 years.
for 300 years.
Long.
So I think this is what we think, because any country claim the recipe. Oh no, it's our recipe, but I think it's linked with the Ottoman Empire. Other thing that as cookies, I like prepare mbisses, which is very easy, like a semolina cake or biscuit.
Okay.
Salty biscuit, and then I like prepare also baklava or baklawa, even
The
it's
expert that I've heard.
even it's hard sometimes because I make it from scratch, where I do the dough and yeah.
Oh, but that's perfect, though. I mean, I'm sorry, those are the best type. I mean, when things are made from scratch. I mean, yeah, you could do a recipe, but still, you know.
I wanted to go back to mbisses for a second because the basis of mbisses is semolina, and semolina is the wheat that is the most prevalent in Algerian cooking. So and I don't really know the
equivalent.
I mean, we have some. You can buy semolina here, semolina
Okay.
flour. I just bought some yesterday at the Wedge.
Oh, there
Bob's
you go.
Red Mill semolina. You can buy it in bulk at Bill's, right?
Yes.
At Bill's Imported Foods, you can get semolina flour. It's what a lot of pasta is made out of semolina flour.
Okay.
Couscous is made from
Couscous
semolina.
is made out of semolina. But in mbisses, it's a savory, it's like a savory cake that is made, or a bread almost that's made over the fire. So you make it in a pan, you don't bake it. And it's really, really simple, and it's sort of like the Algerian, go-to. I mean, it'd be like, it's the Algerian equivalent of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay.
So, will you talk a little bit about how you make mbisses?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
please.
is it's an easy recipe where you take a small quantity. I would say like 500 grams of semolina. It's not thin, right? Thin,
Fine.
fine. And you bake it a little bit with water. Just water it.
You
And
mix it with water.
You mix it, with water. Melt some butter and mix it with, and I will say like just like 50 grams of or less, 50 grams. It's in the feeling.
No, understood.
Yeah, and then add salt and mix it, and then put it like as a cake. Comment on dit?
Like a circle.
Yeah,
You
like a
pat
circle.
You pat it into a circle.
Okay.
Into a circle and put it on the fire on a pan.
Okay.
And
Like a cast iron pan would work.
yeah, and that's it.
Nice.
And it browns on the bottom, and then you flip it over, and it browns on the other side.
Yeah.
And then you can eat it on its own, or you can put a little olive oil on it, or you can put some honey on it.
Nice.
And eat it with tea or coffee.
Cool. I know before the show started, you were mentioning that there can't recall or don't know that there are any Algerian restaurants in the Twin Cities. Was there one that you wanted to mention, or you said you wanted mentioning?
So there are two. There's one. So there used to be the Barbary Fig, which was on Grand Avenue, but the owner recently retired and the restaurant closed. There's a Moroccan restaurant now in the a Midtown food market, and Moroccan flavors.
Yep.
And it's you can get couscous there. You can get tagine. You can get a lot of delicious Moroccan salads. And Moroccan cooking resembles Algerian cooking a little bit.
In the West.
Western Algeria, the cuisine is very similar to Moroccan cooking. I would say Western Algerian cooking is the superior Algerian cuisine in the country, because I think it's influenced by Morocco. Moroccan cuisine has a lot of flavor, a lot of spice, and is really delicious, whereas sort of more central Algerian cooking is tends to be a little bit more bland.
Or mild, okay.
Or mild,
okay.
yeah. But then you move east towards Tunisia and things start getting very spicy.
It's like going down or going up a scale and
Exactly.
everything,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Tunisians love the hot sauce.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Other thing that I can suggest, it's also there is a specific spices where it's a mix of lot of over than 12 or 15 spices called Ras Al Hanout, which is the head of the store. But
that's here in Minneapolis, or
no.
Yes, you can buy that at Holy Land.
Oh, okay.
And they do their own Ras Al Hanout spice mix.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can any soup. For example, lentil soup, or maybe it's not the right example, but vegetable soup, if you mix it with, you add a little bit of this spices, it will change the flavor and give more character to your soup. So maybe this is a basic thing that I suggest people to taste it.
That's beautiful.
Try it.
No, that really is. Thank you all for those suggestions, as well as Moroccan flavored. They are located once again in Midtown Global Market. That's at 920 East Lake Street. That's Minneapolis, Minnesota 55407. Today they're going to be open from 11 to 8, and if you want to learn more about it, definitely visit their Facebook page, or learn more again by going to Moroccan Flavor. mpls.com, and you can find out a whole lot more about the different cuisines. Well, the menu that they offer there at Moroccan Flavor. So shout out to them. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. What is there aside from your own? Because it sounds like a beautiful cuisine anyway. But is there any other cuisine that you really like, or you really enjoy, partaking?
Well, I've always really liked French cuisine a lot. I went to school in France and lived there for 2.5 years. Although when I lived there, I was a student, so I didn't have a lot of money to go adventuring out to restaurants. But whenever I was invited to people's houses, I was always really impressed and enjoyed the comfort of the rhythm of a French meal and the different components of it. And so I think that's where I sort of lean more towards.
Okay.
I think when we're cooking at home, though, we tend to just look at season and ingredients and flavors, and I tend to just look up recipes and then get inspired that way. But I think that and again, that's sort of linked to being part North African and having lived in both France and in Algeria, where that just is the influence, and that's just kind of how it is.
What about yourself?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Except I didn't study over there, but there is, as Taous mentioned, there is a lot of influence of French culture, including, and we influence also as Algerian French cuisine, where couscous is considered as national meal of France.
Really?
France.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
I did not know that. Really, I didn't.
So yes, there is a lot of influence. Like when we talk about pastry, I would say maybe we are the biggest country that consume baguette.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my.
In the francophone world.
Really?
Even
I mean,
more than
a family of 7 in Algeria will probably eat like 10 baguettes a day. No joke.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot of bread, or baguettes, I should say. Oh my gosh. I had a question. And it totally slipped me all of a sudden. Anyway, how long are you visiting, or you live in the cities, in Twin Cities, correct? Okay, I don't know why I got the impression from Aaron. That's my confusion then. Sorry.
Well, we do. I mean, Mohammed especially does work in television in Algeria, and so there'll be chunks of the year where he'll be off working on a TV show, but we live in Minneapolis.
Okay.
We actually there is a TV show we both work on. called Sultan Ashur the Tenth. It's a comedy, but takes place in the Middle Ages.
Okay.
And I play the Sultan's ex-wife, whose name is Maria, and she's a foreigner.
Okay.
To Algeria. So I speak in this strange combo of English and Arabic.
Okay.
And there's an episode this season where it's Ramadan, and the palace cook has been put in prison because I can't remember why.
I don't remember.
Who knows? Anyway, for some reason she's not available to cook. So Maria goes to the kitchen, and she's supposedly this really good cook. So she makes this soup, shorba, which is the soup Mohammed was talking about, which is usually the soup that during Ramadan Algerians will use it to break their fast. So they'll have a date and some milk, and then they'll have this warm soup to start eating again after having been fasting for 18 or however many hours. And so you can make it with fric, which is cracked wheat, or you can make shorba with what do we say in English? Vermicelli?
Yes, vermicelli.
Vermicelli. And so Maria's in the kitchen, and she's making shorba with the cracked wheat. And the current wife of the Sultan comes in and is like, "What are you doing in the kitchen?" And Maria says, "Oh, well, I heard that the cook is in prison, and so I thought I better take on making the soup for tonight." And the current wife Razan is like, "What kind of soup are you making?" And Maria says, "I'm making shorba with the cracked wheat." She says, "Oh, I'm going to make shorba with vermicelli." And so there's this whole thing where they sit down to eat, and the two women are on the other sides of the Sultan. And so Maria's like, "Do you like the shorba with the cracked wheat?"
Oh my.
And then the other one's like, "Do you like the shorba with the vermicelli?" And so what he ends up doing is mixing them in his bowl.
Nice. Smart man.
Freak me, which is the mixed
Okay.
Cracked wheat, freak with the
Oh,
anyway,
nice.
it's pretty funny.
Cool. Is that something that we could see? It's in the Twin Cities or
it's
online?
on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. It's broadcast on Algerian network television, but they have all the episodes on YouTube.
Nice.
Sultan Ashur the 10th.
Cool. Which normally what I would do when I have new guests come in on the show, ask them what they do. I know that it's a food show, but I always try to introduce the guests to listeners or anyone that might be interested in finding out who you are. Would you be willing to talk about what you do, just like in your secular lives or something like that?
Well, of course. This is Taous. I'm an actor and a director and a producer, and I'm currently working on a show right now with Mohammed and Aaron Gabriel, our mutual friend, who's a composer. He's composing the music for a show called Sunrise at Midnight.
Oh, nice.
And it's a show. It's a physical theater show. Physical theater, I'm using the term to say that there's not a set. There are any props, so we're using mime and movement to tell the story, along with music and words. And it's directed by Ryan Underbach, and it's featuring Heather Bunch, myself, Theo Langeson, Nora Montanez, and then Mohammed. It'll be at Dreamland Arts, opening July 20th. And it's so it's blending dynamic theater and original songs and 3 folk tales for grown-ups from the Kabylia region of Algeria, which is where my father and my family are from. And so in 2008, I went to Algeria, and this is when I met Mohammed, actually. And I did a project with women, a group of actresses, where we went into the mountains and interviewed elders and old women who had folk tales that no one really asked them to tell anymore. And we took 3 of those folk tales that we heard from the old women, and we created a theater piece based on those 3 stories. And I was always interested in exploring more of the folk tales from the region that would be for more of a grown-up audience, that deal with themes that are not for kids, but themes for grown-ups. And so we're weaving together 3 of those stories. Nice. So and then I work on this Algerian TV show, and I teach theater to kids, and then I'm directing a show this year with a group of Iraqis with the Iraqi American Reconciliation Project. We're putting together a script right now based on the stories of the Iraqi participants, and they'll be performing with professional actors, and that will be in October. And more information about that will be forthcoming.
Cool. Thank you very much. Mohammed, anything that you want to add to that? Or?
Yes. So I am basically an actor, director, and
This is a power couple, folks.
so here in the Twin Cities, I'm more teaching artist and actor. As I mentioned, I will be in that show, Sunrise at Midnight, and I worked for a couple of companies here in the Twin Cities. In Algeria, I am more directing, producing, and acting as well. As an actor, we did 2 seasons of a TV show called Sultan Ashur, where I play the general, one of the lead characters, and we just finished the 2nd season. And also, I am producing, directing, and creating the concept. I wear many hats in the 2nd show called Rap News, and it's a satire show, like a news, in at Shuruq TV, which is the major channel in Algeria. So using rap music. So we have like over than 12 rappers all over from Algeria, with different styles and different languages and accents, and we are 2 actors who plays more over than 500 characters.
Oh wow!
In
Wow.
25 episodes. So
Wow.
yeah. Other thing, I directed a couple of theater performances in some regional theaters in Algeria as well.
Okay. Was Aaron in one of your?
I worked with Aaron
At Interact.
At Interact Theater.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Alright.
I wanted to say something about Ramadan and being an actor in
Oh, yes.
Algeria, because Ramadan is the time when actors work the most, because in the evening after you have if you break the fast, people will usually watch the popular TV show, and then they'll go out. So they'll go out and see a play or hear music. And so when we lived in Algeria, for 1 year, we were contracted with the Regional Theater of Oran and performing in a show. So we'd go on tour, and it was always this tricky thing because you've been fasting all day, and then you eat this big meal that is dates, milk, soup, this savory pastry, burek, plus some sort of meat dish, plus a salad, plus some fruit, plus probably some like sweet cakes. So it's a big meal.
Yeah, just the description. I'm like, wait, I'm already full after dish number 3.
And then you have to go on stage and perform.
Oh my.
In front of an audience that is really like ready to kind of like let loose and be entertained.
Exactly.
So it's a very interesting process physically as an actor to try and gauge that rhythm of performing on a very full stomach.
Oh my.
What I used to do, because I did a lot of tour in Algeria as a solo performer for many years with some of my stand-ups and one-man show over there, and being almost 2 hours on stage in front each night, and traveling during the day or during the same night, so it's not easy to maintain your physical energy. So what I used to do is eat a little bit after fasting the whole day, and go perform and come back to eat correctly.
Exactly.
Yes, so extend your day.
Yes, exactly. Which is very smart. You talked about French cuisine a bit, and right now I'm just throwing this out there because I went to a bookstore recently. I got Jacques Pepin's Heart and Soul in the Kitchen, I believe, and so I'm kind of slowly reading through that, and so many other friends like Aaron, I don't know if you're familiar with James Lekitz, and just a number of other friends that do various cuisines and so forth. they've talked about French cuisine being something that is like a staple for anyone to either start off with or to learn about, because from that it then expands so many different other cuisines. I mean, it crosses, if you would, other different cuisines and the different types of meats and the way things are, prepared, vegetables being chopped or chiffonade or whatever. So it's just really interesting to me right now. And just going through, I haven't even gone through the first I've gone through the first 8 pages, and I'm trying to slowly get through it, but it's a thick book. So I'm looking forward to maybe making some of those recipes that are in there, and I think they might have to be some guinea pigs that are going to have to kind of like have some and tell me what they think. But thank you all so much. This has really been a pleasure having you all here. I'm not throwing them out. I'm really not. I'm just thanking them ahead of time because I don't want to forget, as the show progresses on and everything. But again, sharing all of that information and everything has been a pleasure. I hope listeners out there have had an opportunity to get some education and a little bit more knowledge about Algerian cuisine and specifically Ramadan. So thank you very much for that. If you're going to stay, I do have a question or two probably throughout, but are you going to stay?
Sure, we'll stay. We'll stay.
Okay, not a problem. So I'm going to go into the various types of, food festivals that we have available right now at this time, or we're having. We're going into. There's just so many that's happening right now. Right now, the very first one I want to talk about is Uptown Food Festival. Uptown Food Festival. It's coming up Sunday, on June 25th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And you're probably wondering where that is. Uptown, very familiar with it, but specifically it's going to be on Hennepin, in between Lake and 31st. So there are supposed to be literally 60 food trucks that are going to be there. So, and you know how much I talk about food trucks and just the different types of cuisines, and I know that later on in the year, Maplewood Mall is going to also have their own. But Uptown Food Festival Food Truck Festival is one that I hear so much about year after year. I think I probably have gone to one, but it's always various opinions about how it's gone. And I think right now at this point they've mentioned that it's improved, and people are really looking forward to it. I think this is one of the larger ones because there's 60. I think there have been other smaller versions of it, but this one, I think they have it down to a science how it's going to go very, very smoothly. So if, again, you're looking to go out there, it is free entry. If you are an adult, 21 and over, you can certainly pay for contribute $2 or pay $2 and get a wristband so that you can have alcoholic beverages if you, again, are an adult, 21 and over. But, some of the trucks that are going to be out there, there's Butcher Salt, Old Cheese, and Dough. That one is just so real new. I mean, you're looking at cookie dough being presented to you from a food truck. I mean, a wide variety of cookie doughs too. So it's interesting. You really have to kind of appreciate cookie dough to really eat a lot of cookie dough. Market Barbecue, Anchor Fish and Chip, World Street Kitchen. So again, a variety of different food trucks that are going to be out there. Perhaps even new ones that you've not had an opportunity to visit. So make sure that you go out there if you're interested in maybe finding a new cuisine or a new place to visit during the summer, and maybe even follow, because some of these food trucks they're business by themselves. They may not have a brick and mortar, but they do have following them on Twitter or Instagram, they'll let you know where they are throughout the city. So again, that's something that for you to consider.
Can I give a shout out
Oh,
to
please.
World Street Kitchen?
Right.
They have a hibiscus iced tea
Oh, wow.
that I highly recommend.
Nice.
I can't get enough of it.
Well, we're talking about food trucks. Do you guys go to food trucks anytime, often, or?
Sometimes. We cook so much at home
Right.
that it's kind of rare. But every once in a while, if we're out and about and we happen upon one,
That's good.
we'll give
My
it a whirl.
experience is, at Portland.
Oh, in Portland.
Yeah, because it's like something that you do it as tourists.
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
Experience that. So, except that we cook a lot
Nice.
here, yeah,
Understood.
or a few restaurants.
That's true. It's sort of like Portland does it and then Minneapolis jumps on board. Or Twin Cities. Sorry, we're in St. Paul. Shout out to St. Paul.
Yes. The next I want to talk about is Smack Shack. Smack Shack. I love seafood. I really do. I could have just about any type of seafood and feel that my life has been accomplished totally. So, Smack Shack Crayfest is going to be in August. It's going to be on a Saturday, August 5th from noon to 8. They are located at 603 North Washington Avenue. This one, you will have to actually purchase tickets for entry. And what you're paying for, it's all you could eat. If you want to learn more about, the Crayfest, certainly visit Smack Shack and their website and find out a bit more about the pricing. Because the prices change based upon if you're purchasing at the door, in advance at the door, so on. But what you're should expect is, again, all you could eat crayfish boil. It's a block party, and gosh, people really do line up for this, and the tickets, I will say, go very quickly. Past 2 years I have not been able to get in because they sell out so quick. But if you've not eaten at Smack Shack, you're missing out on some really great seafood. I'm quite certain that there are other restaurants too that we could name throughout both Twin Cities that offer really great brick and mortar seafood presentations, but I think that a more relaxed atmosphere at Smack Shack allows me and others that go there to just, and I don't know, you could eat with a bib if you want to, or something like that, to crack open a lobster or a crab or whatever, because they also do their own boils there in the restaurant as well. So again, they are located at 603 North Washington Avenue, and there you have it. Those are just a few, or a couple, but there are so many, and as the show goes on week after week, I'll definitely bring you more. So feel free to always follow me on Facebook to find out that information, or again, listen to the show every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on WEQY 104.7. Again, the voice of the East Side. So summer food festivals, make sure you're getting out there and checking those out. What is coming up? Are you all going to go to the State Fair? You can say no. The bus just came and hit you. I know. I'm sorry. I really was not trying to throw you under the bus on that.
We haven't been in a long time.
5
years. We went in 2012.
My first year here.
Yeah,
I experienced that.
Yeah, I felt like it was really important that
He had
Mohammed
to do it.
go.
Exactly. At least one time in his life.
Yeah. This year we are going to take a trip to the Boundary Waters.
Nice.
Well, the State Fair is happening, so we're probably going to miss it. But
that's fine. Less people will be up there.
It's too crowded for me.
Understood.
Yeah.
It's totally understood. Totally understood. I mean, I'm from Los Angeles, California, so we have a county fair. So it's not but even for that, I thought, gosh, there's a lot of people. And then I come here and I'm like, this is a state fair. The entire state. I mean, everyone converges here. I mean, good gosh. Seriously, that's a lot of people. I mean, I understand the reason why they have to have it for almost 2 weeks and everything, so that they can get everybody up in here. No, but no, I said that, or asked that question because State Fair, they just recently put out, their I can't remember where I put it now. Anyway, there's 31 different dishes and everything for for the State Fair, and you're like, okay, there it is. It's the very first tab. But gosh, here's one of those ones that I was talking about. Bowl of dough at one particular place at the State Fair. They are going to be offering raw cookie dough. That's what it's called, bowl of dough. Bowl of dough. I'm not laughing because I'm thinking it's funny. That's a lot of. We're looking at this picture and everything like that, and it's like, wow.
I mean, it's delicious.
Yes.
I won't deny.
No.
I spent my childhood
cooking
that
right.
exact thing.
Exactly. But I'm just like, wow, now it's fair food. So there are a variety of different, again, 31 different new, and not even like, oh, these are from last year. These are new, 31 new dishes that are coming out. I mean, that was one of them, and when I started the show last year, one of my projects was to go to the State Fair and try out food. Let's just say that I didn't make it past 5 dishes. Oh. And everyone's like, well, what did you think about this? What did you think about that? I'm like, okay, I don't like to waste food. And I did go with 2 or 3 other people, but it's like they had their own thing that they were doing. And they're like, we bought this. And I'm like, okay, now I have to eat all of this by myself. And I'm full now. I can't have any more. And then we had to walk around. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that I don't see. Year after year, I know some friends that they will try just about every new food that comes out. I'm like, how do you guys do it? How do you do it? And you stay so thin.
Yeah. I'm always very impressed by the adventurous palates out there.
Right.
Who will go and try everything.
If you're interested in finding out more about, those 31 different new dishes that are out there, bacon fluffernutter. I am truly interested in. Okay, so Taous and Mohammed do not know. They're new to my show. I have an affinity towards pork belly.
Okay.
So I was going through this list and it said double dose of pork belly. I'm like, I'm in. That's one of the first ones. I mean, that's just it. But again, if you're interested in finding out more about those 31 new fair foods, I am excited to go. As crowded as it's going to be, I love you folks in Minnesota. Go to Minnesota or Men's State Fair. I should say that correctly. mnstatefair.org, and just click on new foods, and you should see it as soon as you go to the page, really. But again, mnstatefair.org, and check those out. You'll find the descriptions on each one of those, and hey, maybe you might make your own list and decide, which ones you're going to start off with and go towards. Have fun with that. Okay, we have come to the portion of my show that I know you all cook at home and everything, and I'm doing a whole lot more of that too because I'm trying to stay on a budget. But if you're interested in finding out about maybe going to some place, taking your family out, or your significant other, loved one, out on a dinner date, lunch date, or something like that, this is the section that we like to call Get Your Groupon. And Get Your Groupon is just, telling people about a few different places within the local area You know, Groupon, as you know, offers discounts and so forth. So, you know, one of the ones, you know, if you like Russian cuisine, when I first came here, I was like, okay, these are, I thought they were pot stickers. And I was quickly corrected because they are pierogies. Have you all had pierogies before?
Yes.
Okay. And so, yeah, I have not been to Hammer and Sickle, but they offer great pierogies because there is another friend that I have that has gone there and talks about it highly. I'm like, aren't they just pot stickers? No, they're not. They are pierogies. I'm like, okay, what's the difference? I don't know, but I guess I'll find out sometime in the near future. But the two options that they have available, you could get $40 worth of, again, Russian cuisine. And when you go to their website, they have a wide variety of items to choose from. But $40 of Russian cuisine, that's valid Sunday through Thursday for $22, and then $40 worth of cuisine just on any day for $27. So let's just say you want to go through Friday, Saturday as well, yeah, and then you paid the $27, which is still a great value, you know, considering you're getting $40 worth of food. And I was just looking on their website for some of the, you know, menus. They have small plates, you know, meatballs. Small plates being appetizers, wouldn't you all agree? Small plates.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then the various pierogies that they have available, barbecue skewers. So again, you know, feel free to check out that on Groupon. Again, that's Hammer and Sickle. You could also go to their website, Hammer and Sickle, mpls.com, and visit their menu page so that you could see the other items that are available. So that's one. Another, this one is a little bit close to home for me because it's right up the street from where I live. And I've eaten there before, but it was some time ago. I just haven't had an opportunity to go back. But I'm still going to give shout out to McCarran's Pub and Grill. They are also another option for Get Your Groupon. They have 3 options available. Well, probably 4 actually. And we won't go through all of them, but you know, one specific one is, you know, if you want to do carry out, you could pay $19 for $30 worth of food. If you wanted to have dinner for 2, there would be $17 for $30 worth of food. I'm getting tongue-tied. And that's for 2. And again, the other options that are available, you know, you could definitely see that on Groupon. But you know, it's a casual, laid-back atmosphere. They offer brew. They offer, you know, adult beverages, lunch options. They even offer breakfast on the weekends or brunch on the weekends. If you're the courageous type, you could always do karaoke. And they also have a fish fry. So it's a great place to hang out and enjoy time with friends, and know that you're still going to get you know, a great amount of food. So if you want to find out more information about them, you could certainly visit mccarranspub.com, and you know, right on the edge of Maplewood and Roseville or St. Paul, depending upon what side of the street that you're on. Definitely visit them and get an opportunity to just enjoy some really great, you know, bar food. So again, I want to thank everyone for being listeners on the show. If you're ever interested in hearing the show, you know, the shows are recorded and made available a few days after the show airs. But if you're listening to the show live or would like to listen to the show live, make sure that you're downloading the TuneIn app, which is TUNEIN, and you could hear that pretty much nationwide. And on any of your mobile devices, your phone, your tablet, laptop, all of these are available for you, you know, listening to the Un-Bougie Foodie, as well as any other shows that is hosted by WEQY. We're getting to the top of the hour, and I really want to thank my guests, Taous and Mohammed. Thank you all so much for being here. Aaron, once again, for introducing or giving that starting introduction so that they could come on the show. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Any last words or anything that you want to say to maybe those that are going to be listening and you're going to be hearing them recorded?
Well, bon appetit
Yes,
to everybody. Please. And when it's the end of when it's Eid in Algeria, they say.
Eid Mabruk.
And when it's time to eat after you've been fasting, they say.
بصحتكم ولا صحة فطوركم. It's similar like bon appetit.
Okay, nice. Oh my goodness. Again, thank you all so much for being here. It's been such a pleasure. And as always, as I end every show, I want to encourage everyone never to let anyone tell you what kind of food it'll be, because really, it is all about the food. Until next week, people, once again at Saturday at 10 a.m., peace.